sweet people, let's go outside. I want to show you what the kids want. Come on. Let's walk out there. Isabella and Anna have told me what they wanted me to root for them. So I said I would. So she bought me some Routone. I've never used it before, but I thought, well, I'll use it. I mean, you know, what the heck. I'm good for something new. I had on this today. This is an apron that I just received, and it has pockets all in it. Let me show it to you. I've had it on. That's why it's out here laid on the table. It's a nice apron to do lots of stuff in, but wait a minute. There we go. See? And it's got, look down at the bottom of it. It's got 3 huge pockets down here. And so anyway, it just worked really good. Here was my Routone that she got me, the Routone, and I've got my scissors, and I have clippers. I just couldn't find them. All right, so let me show you some things that are happening in the yard. Y'all want to walk in the yard with me? Come on, look at this. I planted this just the other day. A friend, a follower, sent me these little succulents. And she had them, and so I put them in here. And some of them are even having little babies on it. And then I had a few that were left over, so I took an old lampshade. Oh, let me see if let me turn y'all around. Let's turn you around so you can see good. Okay, this will work better. Anyway, that is a lamp. Can y'all see how that is? And the water, it doesn't work anymore. It's old, it's had it. But the water, when I water this plant, it comes out right here, just drips out. So you could put a plant in it. So I put the rest of her little succulents that she had, like that one. And then she had some little things like this. I don't know what they're called. And then I put a few of my hen and biddies in there, and I already had the cactus. And then somebody gave me the little blue bird. So I've got something cute. I've got 1 fish left in my tank down there. I've got to get some more. Because my mosquito population is beginning to come back. And look at this iris fixing to bloom, y'all. Look at that. Those were sent to me in a box from a follower, and I put them in this giant pot till I can get them going good, and then next year I probably will put them in the ground. I washed my tennis shoes, and so because of that, I unlaced them and hung them out here in the sun so they get real pretty and white. I don't know where the other one is. Supposed to have 4. There's only 3 here. Oh, here it is. It fell. Okay, this is a rose that was given to me almost 2 years ago. And I put it right here, and it's a running type rose, and it doesn't have a single bloom on it. It has a like a cluster. There's another cluster that's going to come out and bloom, but isn't that beautiful? I like that. It's got little tiny buds on it, and so I planted it here, and it's going all over this fence right here, and even down that way, okay? Now let's go. Hannah gave me this a few years ago, and I'm rooting my rosemary in it. I don't know if it's rooted yet. Nope. And some of it will, and some of it won't, y'all. So, let's walk out here. I cut off 3 pieces of verbena today to see if I could root that. I don't know if it's going to root, but I put it in this big pot right here. Because it's kind of sort of shady. And so, this is where I put it. I put it right there. I did 3 pieces. We'll have to see. Anyway, come on around here and I'll show you what Isabella wants. She wants this. Let me get back. I just want y'all to see how huge this thing is. I'm going to step back so you can really see how big it is. Look at that. There's some boxwoods behind it, and that rose is laying up on top of that, on top of the boxwoods. That is a Lady Banks, but it is a white Lady Banks. So about maybe 4 years ago, I cut off some pieces of the Lady Banks, and I left, just that little part right there. And then I cut it off about right here. and took all the leaves off of it except the top one. And you pull this off too. You don't have that on there. Pull the bloom off. And all you leave is those top little things right there. And make sure you plant it under the nodes, which is there and there. Maybe cut it about right there. And so what I did, y'all, is I planted that rose right where I wanted it. And that was so smart, because then I don't have to dig it up. And it likes where it is. It likes where it is. It gets the morning sun. That's all it gets. And then right over here, let's walk over here. That's my wheelbarrow that's falling apart. But I've got a log up under it to hold it up. See that log? Now that right there is poison oak. And so I can't touch anything in the wheelbarrow. Not a thing. And that big part right there, that's poison too. I've just got to have somebody to get it out here and get it up for me, because I can't touch poison. I'll be in a fix. All right, this little plant right here, I've only got a couple of blooms left on. Let me step back so you can see. All right, you see the maple tree right there, okay? Well, that plant that's right beside it is an English dogwood, and it is a shrub. And here's what it looks like. Let me turn the thing around where you can see it. That's what it looks like. That's called an English dogwood. And they're really easy to grow, and they're pretty. There's another bloom right there. Okay, let's walk over this way. Here is my rose growing up right there. And you know, I told you that was a type of climbing rose. Let me get up here close to it and let you see. That one's completely open right there. And I see a bud right there. I see a bud right in there. Let me zoom in on it. And so the kids wanted some of that. So what I did last year is I would cut off a piece about maybe right there, just like that much, about 7 inches, I guess, and make sure that those nodes are under the ground, and leave the last one on there. And so I did that last year, and look what happened. They rooted. So in here, somebody gave me this. This is called a Wygeia. And I put it in here. I'm gonna have to put it in the yard because it grows big. But anyway, here's the running rose. There's one. There's one. That's two. And I see a couple of little ones right in here. 3, 4. I probably got about 6 in there. Every one of them rooted. Every one of them. And I've got one down here that's doing. Okay. And then this tree right here, what that is a pomegranate. Pomegranate. That's how you say, not plum granite. Pomegranate. And it's never made one yet. I keep waiting, but it hasn't done it. I've got a little thing of roses right here, and there's my garlic. Oh, and let me show you this. One of you that came to the Cottle house now, and I can't remember who it was, but they came, they were a visitor, gave me some tomatoes, and it was called something like nighttime snack. They were perfectly round, a little bigger than a marble, maybe more like a small plum. They were little, though. They were the kind that you could just put in your mouth, okay? And they were dark, almost eggplant color. And so I saved the seed of some of them that were too soft, and I planted them, and I got 3 growing right here. Then all these tomatoes that are coming up are Cherokee purple. And I bought these at the market because they were too soft. And they weren't good to eat because they were too old. And so I cut the tomato up and just I actually put the tomato in here. I sliced it and cut it in wedges and everything else, and stuck that tomato all down in there, and it came up. The little seeds came up. So I'll have some of these to give to Hannah and Dallas. And their little families. That over there, that little thing that looks like a fern, that is a nice weed. It's called vetch. Vetch. There's a big tree that I'd had to die. It was beautiful. It was a holly, and it always had berries at Christmas time. I have no idea what happened to it. I had 3. The other one died, and this is the only one I've got left right here. And look at the berries. Look at that. All of that will be just red. Look at that. Hundreds of berries on that little thing. They were so beautiful. I don't remember the name of it, but I had 3 right here. And they all blew the coop, guess you'd say. Let's walk down this way, let you look. Okay, I like to walk down this little part right here because it's almost like a little tunnel. It's back, you know, and I'll show you how it does. It's real dark back in here. And it's like a little tunnel. Can you see how I'm walking through this tunnel? Let me show you this side. Okay. It's just a little tunnel in my backyard. Just woods all out in there. Look at that pine tree. Won't you look at that? I can't even see the top of it. It's a big one, isn't it? It's a big old pine. There's another big pine tree right there. I think you can see the top of it. Let's go up to look at it. All right, here we go. Let's climb this tree. And there's the top of it. Oh my goodness. I don't know how tall it is. Probably, I don't know, 10 stories high or something like that. It's tall. It's very, very tall. But anyway, I walk out this way sometimes just to kind of get out in the woods and get away from the house. I need to get out here with the clippers and cut some of this off, like right there that's hanging over the road. Ooh, we had a lot of trees fall. I didn't even know that happened. Look at that. That was from that storm, that rain and wind we had the other day. Oh my goodness. I surely didn't know that happened. The good thing I walked out here. One of them was rotten because there it is. That's probably why the thing fell. Well, there's some more down. This is the first time I've been out here, so I didn't know that was down like that. I see a trail right there, and that's a deer trail. Anyway, the little road just goes on back into there. Or if you didn't want to go that way, you could always go this way. And it goes down that way too. See how it does. It's a nice place to walk. Listen to the old crow, I hear him. Got some little new pines coming up right there. And then it goes on down. Now this thing right here, let me show you. That is an ant bed. Let me get a stick. I like to aggravate them. Here's a nice one. Let's get this. When I was a little girl, I'd get out there and watch them. But there's your ant bed. Let's see if one's in it. They may not be in it since it rains so bad. No, they're not in it. Or either they've gone down low. They've probably gone way down in the dirt. Y'all like to play in ant beds? Here's another one. Let's see if any's in it. Ooh, yes, they're in this one. Y'all see them? They're, as Mama would say, they're working alive in there. Working alive. Making babies and building new ant beds all over the place. Goodness, look at that one. Y'all, I'm telling you, we have, these are called fire ants, and they literally will eat you up. And our children in the South, children in the South, they learn real early, like maybe 1.5, and they know what a fire ant bed is, and they don't go near it, because once they're stung on their little legs, it hurts so bad that they learn, and this one is a huge one. And when they get too big for where they are, y'all can see how big it is compared to my hand. When they get too big for where they are, they move and leave one here, and then they move somewhere else. Sometimes you can see the babies down in, I think I saw some babies. There's one right there. See those white things? See that? That white right there? That's a future ant. There's a bunch. See there? They're just, look at that. Look at that. See that? Woo! I got some on me. Let me get it off. Let me zoom in instead of putting my hand so close. They'll move those babies now back down in there. Look at there. They're working alive, as Mama would say. Look at that. They're picking up those. Can you see them picking up the eggs? Watch. Watch them. See if I can be still. Keep my camera still. See them? They're picking them. They're literally picking those up and moving them. They're moving them. So that was their nursery. Ants have nurseries. There's one picking that one up. Let me zoom in a little better. It's just I can't keep my hand still. There we go. And there they are all over this piece of stick right here. Ooh, they're on my feet. Oh, bum. Let me get back off of there before they eat me up. There's another ant bed. See that? I'm telling you, they're everywhere. You can't walk outside at night afraid you're going to step in one. We usually carry a flashlight with us. I got one on my shoe and he won't get off of there. I'm going to kill him. There's some ant poison that sometimes works, but basically, oh Lord, listen to that bird up there. See, hear him. I don't know what kind is that, you bird watchers? What is that one? So basically, we have that one, that one, that one, and that one, and then look way out there at that one. Look at that thing. Look how huge that is. I'm telling y'all, this is how they do. And our children, it's bad. I mean, it's bad. But look at that one. And then when you look down the little road, I could see them all along the road. They're just all out in there. There's another deer trail right back in there, I can see. They like to lay down in that pine straw at night, the deer do. Anyway, so y'all can see how dangerous it is for kids. I say it's dangerous. I guess it's really not because they know better. They do like me. They stir it around with a stick and move on. But it doesn't take them but just a little while. They build the thing back up. Anyway, this is where I walk sometimes. Get a little exercise. Then I walk the other way and go to the mailbox. And then I've been walking all day cutting those limbs for, or rooting things for Isabella and Anna. I heard Hannah come over on that four-wheeler, not a four-wheeler, but I don't know what you call that thing a while ago. And then she turned around and went back. So she probably was looking for something. Thank y'all for being with me this afternoon. Let's duck under that one. Knock your head off. I just need to get out here and work. All of this, y'all, was solid pink just last week. Because all of these on this side, these are all azaleas. And they're good. Somebody was asking me about my mulch bed and just wondered if I had one. And the answer is yes, I do. I'll show you where I put my mulch. Yes, and it's not a very good one, but you can see eggshells and stuff out here, and I throw all my old potato peelings and everything else all right in here. And then I come and dig it up when I'm needing something for a plant. Now this is a redbud tree right here, a little redbud. It's a pretty plant too. I need to clean out all of that. Okay, I'm back at home. You can see all the camellias. All the blooms are gone now. I see one, I think, up there. That's it, way up there at the top, right up there. But the camellias are gone, and your summer flowers and your spring flowers take over after that. And then here's where I put all the rooting stuff. I've got my little root bed on this side of the house because it doesn't get any afternoon sun. Your plants that you root don't need to be in the sun. They've got to root, and then you can do it. But here's what I did last week, and I showed them to y'all. That's white camellias, pink camellias, variegated camellias. This is white bridal wreath. This is a snowball bush, which is extremely hard to root. You see one of them's already had it. But these may root. You never know whether you're going to do. That's why I do a lot of them. And that's the only snowball. Here's my snowball tree. And it didn't bloom good this year, and I don't know why it didn't. I've just got that one bloom at the top, and these 4 at the bottom. And that's all I've got. Look how big they are. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I got that from Mama. And what I've been doing is just cutting off a little piece like that. Let me just go ahead and break it off. We'll see if I can get a root. I broke it off, and then I'm going to pull all the leaves off except for 2 at the top, because it's got to give you all your energy to go to the root. Let's see what I can do right here. It's hard to hold this phone and do this at the same time. I'm going to pinch that off if I can. And I'm just going to stick this part down. If you had Routone, you could stick it, you wet this and then stick it in. Let's put it right here. Push it down real deep, or deep as you can, like that. Push it in. Okay. We'll see if it makes it. This is a bridal wreath that you can tell didn't make it. See there? You can tell when it's not making it. So just pull it up and throw it away. But these have a chance right here. I see several that might make it. That one looks real healthy. So anyway, I don't have anything in here yet because I'm fixing to, but I hadn't done it yet. Here are things I fixed for Anna and them. This is bridal wreath. I fixed that for them today. This is the Lady Banks rose, all of those. This is the running rose. And the rest of it, I hadn't put anything in it. This is a violet. They grow wild here in the south. There it is, right there. Isn't that pretty? It's got a long stem, like that. It's a natural violet, and we have them all over the place. Anna's children hadn't come in to get their little plants that they did for Easter yet. They've got to bring their truck or something over here and get them. Let me show them to you. They still look beautiful. They look better than they did the other day, actually. Hannah's right there. See how pretty it looks? And here are the children's, or girls. Here's one right here. And then here's another one. And here's another one. I think that one's Banks is right there. It's either Bankses or Bays. This one's Kate's right here. But we just put a variety of stuff in there, and all of it, you know, it'll do. It's looking real good, though. It doesn't even look like we've transplanted it. But y'all listened the other day when I was telling about the fabric. You see that fabric coming up right there? When you get these kind of things at wherever, it's just made out of coconut stuff or some kind of something, I don't know. But it will let all the dirt through and the water through, and it won't hold in the dirt, and I don't like them. So what I do is when I get them home, I cut me a big piece of fabric that's longer than this and taller, and then we push it down in there, and tuck the fabric down in, and then it comes all the way up to the top. Now that it's going to hold in moisture. It's still nice and wet. It's going to hold in your dirt, and it'll probably rot in a year or two, and you'll have to redo it. But that's all right too. At least you didn't lose all your dirt, right? That's a pot right there that a follower made for me, and it's cute. It's decoupaged. I just planted something in it, and I'm gonna leave it outside for a day or two to get kind of started. Then I'm gonna move it in. But anyway, so that's kind of what's happening here. There's the patio, and it's not much to it, y'all. I live in a small house, but you know what? I love my little house. It's nice, and it's home, and it's also, y'all, it's where I raised my babies, where George and I raised our babies. When we moved to this 1970s house right here, well, you can see it like now. There you go. When we moved here in this house, Hannah was 6 months old, and Dallas, I guess he was maybe 2 years, 8 months or something like that, because there's not that much difference in their ages. I had them close together. And so, this is all they've ever known, is this house. This is all they've ever known. They've never moved. Now, when they got out on their own, they moved and did for their families. But when they were growing up, this was it. This was it. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed our little walk today. Goodness gracious. And I'll show you some more another day. We'll walk over to Hannah's. She's building a chicken coop. The price of eggs is so high that she decided she was going to have her some chickens. So she hadn't gotten chickens yet. It won't be long. It won't be long. Hey, listen. So I can tell her this. Y'all tell me. How do you tell when it's a little bitty, you know, when you order them from the co-op or you get little chickens, how do you know if it's a rooster or a hen? Somebody said you hold them up by their back legs and a hen will kind of come up like that and a rooster stretches out. I actually don't know. But she doesn't really want roosters. She wants something that'll lay an egg. There used to be a joke when I was a little girl, and it said, it was trying to trick you, and it said, if a rooster was on top of a house, right on the edge, and he laid an egg, is it going to go north, south, east, or west? And you wouldn't believe the children just thought, they couldn't think of which way that egg was going to go. It'd say south, and then the person would say, no, roosters don't lay eggs. I think about stuff like that we said when we were kids, little old jokes like that. We just had the best time. Life's good, isn't it? Is it good to you too? I'm thankful for every minute. I'm thankful for every minute. I sure am. I love y'all. Have a great day and get out and enjoy God's world, this beautiful world. That omelet I fixed, it has lasted me all day. For dinner today, I didn't show y'all this, but for lunch today, I cooked me a cabbage and some cornbread. And I had cabbage and cornbread. That's all I had. There's a goo-goo cluster in there, though, and I may go get that and eat it. Talk to y'all later. Bye.